What's up, everyone? It's Caddy with Money Vesting. So a lot of back and forth here in the markets today. We were up and down and sideways, and finally closed green on the day with the NASDAQ up another 72 basis points. We got the S&P 500 up about 0.5%, closing past 4,000, and the Dow Jones was also up about 33 basis points on the day, all on the back of technology and energy, and more specifically Nvidia, which was driving this momentum to new heights, pushing up another 12% on the day. So we did get some comments from Jamie Dimon. We did get the GDP numbers. We got the personal consumption expenditure. And then tomorrow is the actual inflation numbers coming out. So we have to keep that in mind as well. At 8:30 a.m. Eastern, in less than 24 hours, we will get the PCE numbers and the personal income and savings rate and all that stuff, which I think is going to be very, very important for the markets as well. But talking a little bit about the GDP numbers, this right here, where, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. And the link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. There are about 4 to 5 days left if you want to take advantage of that 16% annual discount. After that, it will go away. There are limited spots available as well, so links are going to be down below. So first things first, GDP came in at a little bit shy of consensus at 2.7%. That was the actual number versus 2.9% that was the estimated for the fourth quarter. And then tomorrow, like I said, there's going to be personal income and outlays coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, new home sales and consumer sentiment that comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern, along with Loretta Messer also talking tomorrow. So stocks closed higher Thursday. S&P 500 snaps a 4-day losing streak. We did see a little bit of momentum. So S&P 500 closing back about 4,000. We got the Dow Jones gaining about 108 points, and the NASDAQ ending the session at 11,590. And the major averages are still on pace to end the week on a downturn, with S&P 500 on track for its worst weekly performance since December 16th because of the sell-off that we saw on Tuesday. Now, Jamie Dimon says the Federal Reserve has, quote, lost a little bit of a control of inflation. So JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said Thursday that containing inflation remains a work in progress. And for the Federal Reserve, while noting the U.S. economy continues to show signs of strength, and he says, and I quote, "I have all due respect for Powell, but the fact is that we have lost a little bit of control of inflation. It's the first of a two-part interview with Kramer, with the second installment airing later Thursday on Mad Money." And I think he further goes on by saying that Dimon himself said he expects that interest rates could possibly remain higher for longer, as it may take central bank a while to get to its goal of 2% inflation. Just give me one second. I'm still kind of battling through. I'm still under the weather here, trying to get better. There's just the cough is just super brutal. But even so, the JP Morgan CEO said he's not currently breaking out the recession playbook, as he's encouraged by the strength of the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy right now is doing quite well. Consumers have a lot of money. They're spending it. Jobs are plentiful. And that's today. Out in front of us, there's some scary stuff. You and I, there's always know that there's uncertainty. That's a normal thing. So what he's obviously saying, that the economy is still very strong. Inflation, of course, is trending lower. However, the Federal Reserve has lost their control over inflation. And not only that interest rates are going to stay higher for longer. And we are going to... I feel like I need to stop recording. It's crazy. My cough is just not going away. It's brutal. Anyway, I'm going to try my best, guys. I'm going to try to push through. But if I do take pauses for coughing, I do apologize, because it's just... yeah, I'm not doing too well. This right here is going to be the entire market. So very, very green, with energy and technology, and especially semiconductors pushing higher, with Nvidia up over 14%. We got AMD up over 4%. So I did end up selling a covered call on AMD for about $290, close to $300 premium. So $293. And that was good. I mean, premiums were good for AMD, not like what I was expecting, but still decent to some extent. When you take a look at Google, we got Netflix down, we got Verizon selling off, Walmart, Dollar General, all of them pulling back. So some pockets of the market were red, but overall a very, very green day, with energy and technology kind of leading the way, with real estate, industrial, financials, all of them pushing higher, and materials, utilities, and comm services down. Over the last 1 week, we still have pretty much all 11 sectors in the S&P 500 down and selling off. And over the last 1 month, technology is the only one that's pushing higher. Man, this is brutal. And everything else is straight up down over the last 1 month. So lumber prices, sugar, natural gas, orange juice, palladium, everything's pushing up, and coffee prices were down. Bitcoin once again under 24,000, and Ethereum just a little bit over 1650 at the moment. So talking about volatility, so we did see the VIX drop by 5%, so coming back down to low 21s. We did get up to as much as 23, 24 levels, and this right here was a spike from the VIX of close to 30%. And right now we're starting to sell right back down. We're coming down to low 20s once again, and this right here is going to be that level to pay attention to for the VIX. Crude oil is once again seeing some buyers stepping in at that support, low 70s. We've talked about this, and this is a very, very strong support level to watch for crude oil. And we are seeing at low 73, $74 per barrel for buyers to step in right around those prices. For Ethereum, we still have a resistance at 1700. So this right here is going to be that level to watch as a resistance for Ethereum. And of course, we also got Bitcoin trading at a little bit under 24,000, and the resistance is going to stay put at 25K for Bitcoin as well. So those right there are going to be a couple levels to watch for both Ethereum and for Bitcoin. The 10-year yields, they were on the move, so they were pushing higher. We, in fact, got up to as much as 3.97%, so very, very close to 4%. However, during the day, we started selling off, and right now we are back under 3.9% and down another 26 basis points. So the 10-year yields really are going to be very, very important. I mean, they've always been very important, but now so even more important considering how high interest rates are and how high they're expected to go. And of course, with inflation trending lower, but starting to trend sideways a little bit. And we'll see if it's starting to flare up once again. It's going to be very important how the 10-year yields behave, because that's really what's going to put an impact on the equity markets as well. Talking about the S&P 500, so we got a nice bounce from that support that we talked about. So we perfectly came down to 39.69, and the buyers stepping right back in. And what you'll notice here is that it was a red candle on a green day, right? So this just goes to show that the momentum was very much on the downside. And we did see some buyers, step in on the day because we were higher. However, there was definitely a lot of momentum to the downside. And, the long wick does suggest there was a lot of back and forth between both the buyers and the sellers. So very strong support here for S&P 500. And right now we're seeing a perfect validation at that level. And we're seeing some buyers stepping in with the longer wick. So it's going to be very interesting what happens tomorrow with the inflation numbers coming out, and not to mention the new home sales, and of course the consumer sentiment that's also scheduled to be released. But but we are seeing a little bit of momentum here for S&P 500. So this is a good potential dip buying opportunity in an uptrend, but we have to be conscious about the fact that it can break down below this level as well, and we can continue to see this market drift lower and pull back even further. Talking about the NASDAQ, same thing, a red candle on a green day. That does suggest there was momentum on the downside. So intraday, there's a lot of back and forth. In fact, at one point, the markets were red, right? In fact, the NASDAQ at one point was red, and it was kind of trading as low as 11,420s. But again, buyers stepping in around this support level that we talked about previously. Previous resistance acting as a new support for the NASDAQ. We're seeing some buyers stepping in. So it was quite an interesting day where we saw a lot of consolidation, a lot of back and forth, and the markets were down, then the buyers stepped in, but then we still closed lower than where we opened. So there was a lot of indecision in the markets, in my opinion, a lot of back and forth. So the bulls and bears are really fighting for price action right now. And both the S&P and the NASDAQ printing a red candle on a green day goes to show that there was a lot of momentum to the downside, but we are still trading at a very strong support for both of these indexes. Talking about Apple first, and Apple here up 33 basis points, trading a little bit under 150, and 152 is going to be that resistance level to watch right now. So we're going to go ahead and turn this level back into a resistance. Support level is going to stay put at 137. Apple for me also trades at a little bit of a rich valuation, so I'm not super interested in adding or buying shares of this stock right now. But that right there really is going to be that resistance at the moment at 152. Talking about Amazon, Amazon did, very, very flat. And in fact, it was higher on the day at some point. But once again, you'll notice lots of consolidation, lots of back and forth. Investors are not able to make, good decisions, in other words, the proper directional decisions right now, and we're seeing a lot of back and forth with consolidation for Amazon as well. Support level is going to stay put at $91, $92. So this right here is going to be that support level, with the resistance staying put at close to 104. So that right there is going to be that resistance to watch for Amazon. Talking about Tesla, and I will be doing a separate video on Tesla as well, but Tesla also red candle on a green day. Just goes to show that there was a little bit of selling pressure here intraday, meaning the momentum was not super strong on the upside. And this right here is going to be a big level to watch as a resistance right now for Tesla because we have gotten rejected at this level in the past. So what you'll notice is that in the past, we've had a very strong support for Tesla at around $210, $215. And this right here was that previous resistance, right? So we got rejected exactly at that level. And right now we are just trading sideways, consolidating. And that is also going to be a very important resistance level to watch for Tesla. So right now we're kind of in line with that 200 SMA inside this red box, inside this red rectangle. So that's going to be the important level to watch for this company. Talking about the star of the day, Nvidia, with a huge gap up and continues to push higher. So this right here, all resistance acting as a very strong support at $230. So even though we do have a very big gap to fill on the downside, we are seeing Nvidia continue to rally. And I think a lot of it has to do with the AI buzzword and lots of volume driving this move higher. I mean, we had over 111 million shares traded for Nvidia today. It's quite interesting that it came down to $230, kind of validated that support, and then pushed higher. So 14% gain on the day, pretty substantial on lots of volume. But the valuation, the technicals, everything about this company just doesn't make any sense. Why it should be trading at a market cap of 582, almost $600 billion. Nvidia right now, I think, is equivalent to Tesla. Might be a little bit lower. Yeah, so market cap for Tesla is $639 billion. Nvidia is trading at over 580. So there's only a $50 billion gap, which can be filled in with Tesla coming down, Nvidia pushing higher. And it's just crazy how high it's already trading at from a valuation standpoint. Talking about advanced micro devices, so AMD, quite an interesting day. Green day, but a red candle. So I'm actually glad that I ended up getting a nice covered call on that. So again, if you want to get access to all those options alerts, get access to the trade ideas, trade alerts, investing alerts, day trading alerts, all that stuff is going to be included in our Discord. The link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining. But AMD here closing in at just a little bit under $80 and up 4% on the day. So once again, red candle, green day, lots of indecision, lots of consolidation for this company. Support level is going to stay put at $78, $79. And that's what we're going to be paying attention to moving forward. It's a lot of dry cough. It's crazy. Like, I don't know why it's got, maybe I need to drink some water. But anyway, so talking a little bit about PayPal. And PayPal on the day was down about 30 basis points, getting a little bit of rejection here at this resistance around $75, $76. We do still have a pretty big gap to fill on the downside. So this right here is going to be that gap for us to fill eventually. And that's going to be sitting roughly in the low 70s. And $67 is going to be that next support. And PayPal, in my opinion, I think trades at a very good value for money right now at around $75. Square, also lots of consolidation, lots of sideways action here, up 1.66%. But for the most part, trading sideways, lots of buyers stepping in, but a lot of indecision here on the day for Square as well, with a bit of a doji candle, so really not a big body. Resistance is going to stay put at $76, so this right here is going to be that level to watch for Square, and support level is going to stay put at 58, close to $59 per share for this company as well. So we are seeing a little bit of a pullback right now for Square from 89 close to $90. I think the valuation is a little too high still. So that is something that we need to definitely take into account when we're looking at this company. And a potential swing trading idea on Square would be great if and when it drops down to 59. So for example, if it drops down to $59, I would certainly be planning out a swing trading idea on Square on the long side, considering that would be a very strong support and we'd already be very oversold at those prices. Talking about Meta, and Meta on the day was flat again, up just another 0.5%. And pushing up to 172. This right here is a big gap that eventually we need to fill. And right now we're just kind of slowly and steadily kind of making our way down there. And next support really is going to be 153, 154. Resistance is going to stay put at 183.50, kind of in line with that 300 simple moving average. So incredibly important resistance for Meta is going to be sitting right there. And again, support level is going to stay put at 169, 170, down to 153 for Meta. Talking about Netflix, and Netflix really is starting to break down even more. It's down over 3.3%, so starting to really break below this area of support here. And the next level really is going to be down to 276, but I doubt it's going to get down to that level before finding some buyers stepping in. I think the buyers will step in for Netflix before it gets down to 276. And resistance is going to stay put at $332 right now. So this right here is going to be that level to watch. And right now we are seeing a bit of a pullback, which rightly so. Netflix's valuation, is super high, and my fair value obviously in the low 200s for this company. Talking about Google, and Google here on the day was also down 0.8%, so trading at low 90s now. And I also think that Google and PayPal are two companies that are trading at good value for money. Google more so because it's got more growth potential in the future. Support level is going to stay put at $86, $87. So this right here is going to be that level to watch next. And Google hasn't really made any progress, right? I mean, it hasn't really, pushed up from its October lows or from its January lows. It's just been pretty much the same price because of the fact that it's come down so much recently. It's dropped about 17, 18% already. So next support really is going to be at $86 per share for Google. Talking about Microsoft, and Microsoft here up 1.3%. So we're seeing a little bit of momentum to the upside. However, on a red candle, so red candle, green day, once again showing signs of potential momentum weakness here. Support level is going to stay put at 247. So this right here is going to be that level to watch. And of course, we've got our fair value sitting at low 200s for this company. So Microsoft, fantastic business, no doubt, great company, but the valuation's a little too high. And I would be a lot more interested in buying a lot more in the low 200s, maybe even in 220s. But right now at 250s, I think the valuation is still a little too high here. And Shopify finally, right now we're getting a nice support at 41.45. So this right here is going to be that level to watch as a support for Shopify. Right now we're seeing a little bit of momentum back down, and I do think that there's more downside here for this company, considering the earnings here, considering the valuation, considering a lot of different things that we've already talked about. So that 200 SMA is sitting at roughly around $36. And the next support down to low 30s, $29, $30 is going to be that level to watch for Shopify. So bottom line is that we've got big inflation numbers coming out tomorrow. That is going to be very, very important. So the consensus I'm going to go over here very quickly. Month over month PCE, that's the personal consumption expenditure. The increase is going to be about 1%, or that's at least, 0.5%. Closer to 0.4%. That's what the consensus is going to be for tomorrow. And personal income consensus is 1%. And core PCE month over month at 0.4% as well. So both of them are expected to increase by 0.4%. And year over year, 4.9% for PCE, and then core sitting at 4.3%. So again, very important numbers coming out. This is literally what the Fed pays attention to when they're looking at inflation. So if you get some good reads, it's possible that this rally continues and we close the week in green. But definitely keep a close eye on the momentum behind the intraday rallies and sell-offs. And there's a big battle right now still happening between the bulls and the bears. And S&P and the NASDAQ both trading at a very important support. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, check out the Discord and Patreon links down below if you want to get access to all the private videos and Discord channels and alerts. As always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.